Hello, everyone. Welcome to One Step Better Result. Today's story is about a lesson that many people learn too late in life. A lesson that can change your future. A lesson called patience. In a world where everyone wants instant success, instant results, and instant rewards, one young crow discovered that sometimes the secret to success is simply learning how to wait. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this inspiring story. Once upon a time, near a busy city, there lived a young crow named Coco. Unlike other crows, Coco was very impatient. He wanted everything immediately. If he saw food, he wanted it right now. If he wanted to go somewhere, he rushed. If something took time, he became frustrated. His favorite words were, "Why wait?" And because of this habit, Coco often got himself into trouble. One morning, Coco was flying above a crowded marketplace. People were buying fruits, vegetables, bread, and snacks. Suddenly, his eyes spotted a delicious piece of bread on a food stall. Without thinking, he quickly flew down, but the shopkeeper noticed him. "Hey, get away!" The man waved a stick. Coco barely escaped. His heart was beating fast, and he flew away hungry. Nearby, an old crow named Shadow had seen everything. Shadow laughed softly. Then he said, "Coco, one day your impatience will teach you a painful lesson." But Coco ignored him. A few days later, Coco spotted a child eating biscuits in a park. Once again, without thinking, he rushed toward the food. The child screamed. People started chasing him away. And once again, Coco got nothing. Meanwhile, Shadow simply sat quietly on a tree branch, watching, waiting, observing. A few minutes later, the child accidentally dropped some biscuits on the ground and walked away. Shadow calmly flew down and enjoyed a full meal. Coco stared in surprise. "How did you know that would happen?" he asked. Shadow smiled. "I didn't. I simply waited." Those words stayed in Coco's mind, but he still didn't fully understand. To him, waiting felt boring, slow, and useless. As weeks passed, Coco began observing humans more carefully, and, slowly, he noticed something interesting. People often dropped food accidentally. Sometimes they left leftovers behind. Sometimes they even fed birds on purpose. And strangely, the birds who waited patiently usually got more food, while the birds who rushed often scared people away. One day, Coco met a tiny sparrow named Luna. Luna was small, but very wise. She told him, "Patience is not doing nothing. Patience is choosing the right moment." Those words made Coco think. For the first time, instead of rushing toward every opportunity, he started watching first, observing, learning, waiting, thinking, and, slowly, his life began to change. One afternoon, he noticed a group of pigeons sitting near a cafe. The pigeons weren't fighting, they weren't rushing, they simply waited. A few minutes later, customers started throwing breadcrumbs on the ground. The pigeons enjoyed a feast, and this time, Coco joined them. For the first time in his life, patience rewarded him. Months passed, and Coco became smarter. He learned which humans were friendly, which places usually had food, which times were safest, and which situations required patience. His survival skills improved dramatically. Then winter arrived. Food became scarce. Many young birds started panicking. They flew everywhere, desperately searching for food. But Coco remained calm, because now he understood something important. Rushing creates mistakes. Patience creates opportunities. One freezing morning, a group of hungry birds gathered near a bakery. The smell of fresh bread filled the air. Everyone wanted food immediately. Some birds flew down too early. The baker chased them away. Others became scared and left. But Coco stayed on a rooftop nearby, watching, waiting, observing. Minutes later, the baker placed a tray of leftover bread outside for the birds. Suddenly, there was more food than anyone could eat. The impatient birds had already left, but Coco remained, and he enjoyed the biggest meal of the winter. The other birds were amazed. "How did you know?" they asked. Coco smiled. "I didn't know. I just learned to wait." Years passed. Coco became one of the wisest crows in the city. Young birds often came to him for advice, whenever they complained about not getting what they wanted immediately. Coco shared his story, and he always told them, "Patience is not weakness. Patience is strength. The world rewards those who know when to act and when to wait." One evening, as the sun slowly disappeared behind the city skyline, Coco sat quietly on a rooftop, watching the world below. Children were playing, families were walking together, birds were flying across the orange sky. And Coco remembered the young crow he once was, the crow who wanted everything instantly, the crow who thought waiting was a waste of time. He smiled, because now he finally knew the truth. Many people fail, not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunities, but because they give up too soon or act too quickly. And as the golden sun disappeared beyond the horizon, Coco whispered softly, "Patience always wins." And maybe that is the lesson for all of us. Patience is not about waiting forever. It is about staying calm, learning, observing, and acting at the right time, because sometimes the best opportunities come to those who are willing to wait for them. Thank you for watching this story on One Step Better Result. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this lesson today. And remember, one step better every day can completely change your life.